My name is Cassie Steffen for Access Hollywood, and today I'm so lucky to be joined by Ethan and Olivia from TLC's hit show, Welcome to Plathville. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great.
Thank you for having us. Oh, you can answer his question first.
Now, I wanted to ask you, because obviously the holiday season is coming up, and Olivia, I saw that you introduced Ethan to The Grinch for the first time. Are there any other holiday movies that we've touched on this year that you are learning about for the first time?
Was it Mr. Santa, Santa Claus?
The Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus. We watched the Santa Claus. I loved The Grinch. I'm gonna have to watch it again because it was a really good movie.
Wait, have you seen Elf yet?
I have not seen Elf yet. I want to see that one.
Elf is on the list, and Polar Express, and we also watched, I don't even know how you say it, but like National Lampoon's Christmas Holiday or something.
Oh, that one was pretty good.
So
she really wasn't into that one, but I loved it.
Well, I'm glad you're making new holiday traditions with each other, so it's a good time.
Careful what you introduce me to, because there might be some movies that I want to watch every single year as a tradition.
Oh, we already found out with Home Alone year one.
Home Alone is awesome. I still don't have anything to beat that.
So what are the holiday plans this year? I know that the holidays are still relatively new to you, Ethan. So what are you guys planning to do to celebrate this year?
Yeah, me and Olivia are going up to see my grandparents and my aunt and uncle. So my parents don't celebrate Christmas. My siblings don't celebrate Christmas. So it kind of works out in a way because I can just go see my grandparents. Works out well.
Yeah, depending on like how everything lines up. Travel wise, I don't know like what's closed and what's not, but I might try to take him skiing. I've been, but he's never been.
Oh yeah,
and that's something I really want to do together. So
I'm scared about hitting a tree or something though. But they don't have those like in the path.
They have trees.
They do. Jeez, I might be missing some teeth when you see me next.
No, I share the same fear. I feel like in cartoons you see people like smack their head into the tree when they're skiing. So I get the fear. Now, I also wanted to see how the moving situation is for you guys, because we recently saw on the show that you guys were talking about moving away from KRO. What's the current status of this move?
Well, the current status is
we are sitting in our home still.
Yeah, we're sitting here.
I will say, I think a lot of people, when they saw that in the show, they tended to think of it as like, oh, we said we were ready to move out of KRO. Bam, we should have been out next week. And moving's not like that. It's like a long process of, okay, what needs to be done to your home before you put it on the market? And what are you going to find that you want to move into? And buying a home when you both like different things is a lot of compromising. So we're at the stage now where we're ready to put our house on the market, but we're still looking and trying to find the perfect place where we want to end up. And also just throwing things up in the air of like, oh, we're only 22. There's a lot of options out there. We don't always have to sign for another mortgage. So yeah, just kind of exploring it and figuring out where we want to go next.
Do you have any ideas of if it's going to be a small town, a big city?
Well, I'll go ahead and tell you straight up. I want a small town. She wants a big city. Okay, so around here, big city really doesn't mean a lot.
There's no big cities around here.
Yeah.
Squat. I think for now, and I say this tongue in cheek, and feel free to like correct me. I think for now we'll probably not stray too far from where we are, just because Ethan still has a job here, and it's a whole lot to like pick up and move all at once. The plan is to ideally someday move away from here to a different state, but I think for now we might just be happy crossing the Florida border.
Yeah, because I work in Tallahassee, so you know, to me Tallahassee is a great big city. I know it's not, but
it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. I can't wait to see what you guys do next. And yeah, take your time with it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, we've also seen in this recent season kind of a transition from the relationship with your parents, Ethan, that it's been different in the recent season, that we haven't seen you guys with your parents as much. Are we still in that situation where you guys aren't really speaking too much, or have things changed?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely the same. I haven't seen them in quite a while, and that's probably how it's going to be for the foreseeable future. I mean, yeah, it sucks, but I mean, that's just how it is right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
That's okay. I think probably the hardest part about that is not being able to see the little kids or have a relationship with them and be a part of their life. But we also know they're going to grow up and start making their own choices. And, well, we'll get to see them in the future and have a relationship with them. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah. Well, and I know that you guys obviously still have a relationship with, for example, Mariah, and I wanted to know what you think of, she just went Instagram official with her boyfriend. What do we think of him and their relationship?
I haven't been around them much, partly because of COVID. We did film during COVID and stuff, but we were tested weekly, and also we filmed mostly by ourselves. And aside from that, I have traveled some for work and been really careful, but we really haven't hung out with them a whole lot. So I haven't actually been around the two of them while they were dating. And I also didn't see her Instagram post because I'm off social media right now, so I don't feel qualified to talk. What about you?
Well, I don't know. I really don't know a whole lot about her boyfriend. I hope that he treats her well, and if he doesn't, he's gonna be in big trouble. So,
Max, if you're listening, no, I'm just kidding.
Max, Ethan is coming for you, so watch. I think that's sweet. I love, my brother is very protective of me as well, so I understand. Now, I had kind of a bigger question that I know that a lot of people, when watching the show, I always wondered, because I feel like in growing up, you didn't have a lot of TV or movies. What went into the decision for your parents to join this show on TLC? Because it always seemed so dissonant to me that you didn't have to, and now you're on TV. And I just wanted to go straight to you and ask.
Yeah, that is an excellent question, and I don't know how many people have asked that. Pretty much everyone asked that question, because it does seem to contradict. So basically my mom, she was the one that really pushed for the show. She wanted the show to happen for a long time. It was about a year of her pushing for the show. My dad and all my siblings said no. They were like, no, we don't want to be on the show.
We said no.
My dad, well, my mom finally got my dad to say yes. And all the kids said, well, if Ethan does it, I'll do it. And so at that point, we were already married, because that's how long it drug out.
We'd been married 2 months at that point, I think. So It was pretty early on in our marriage.
So then I was like, well, it's not just my decision now. I mean, we both have to agree, do we want to be on the show? And we finally said yes. And that's how it turned out.
Yeah. Fascinating. Well, I'm very glad that you guys are on it, because I have to say, whenever Access, we post a lot of exclusive clips from Plathville, and our audience loves you too. So I'm very glad that you're part of it. What has it been like seeing such a positive social media reaction to both of you? Because I know our followers every time are like, oh my God, Olivia is so great. She's such a lovely person. And they just love your relationship together. So what has it been like getting that support?
Well, I don't know how much you want to say on that.
Oh,
I think you get a lot more negative. I don't know what everyone says about you. I'm hardly ever on my own social media. So trying to keep up with hers is going to be a whole other creature. But you do get a lot more negative comments than I do. And I kind of get comments of people that are like, oh, we love you too, or people talking to me about cars. And I'm much more apt to respond to the comments or DMs of people talking to me about cars. But
I think it's been a growing learning process for me, because there have been some people who have been very supportive. And those are the people that make me think oh, this was worth sharing or being vulnerable. And there are a lot of people who are really nasty about it, but that's also been another opportunity for me to learn and grow. And sometimes just signing off on social media, or taking a break so I don't see all that stuff, or just realizing that I think sometimes reality TV can dehumanize people, just the fact that they're on a screen, and so you don't think twice about getting on social media and sharing your opinions that you would never say face to face. So just like reminding myself of that, like, oh, they're just hiding behind a screen. And I think also people can be intimidated by women who know what they want. So I'll take some of the criticism as opportunity to grow and realize that I don't have my together. And then the other part of it is like, okay, well, yeah, they're just, some of them are intimidated by who I am. So that's a growing, learning process like it all is.
Well, and I think it also, something that I see a lot when I speak to people from reality programs is people think that they know your entire life 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's about your life, but we're not really seeing 100% of it. I feel like you are authentic, but it's not your whole life. And that's a difficult line there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that was actually one of my biggest frustrations after the first season aired, and seeing what, you know, people thought of you, or, you know, you name it. It's kind of like, I was surprised, honestly, at how quick people go to judge you or make an assumption of you based on 6 hours of your life that they've seen on a screen, which I understand. I've watched other shows. And it's just how a show works. It draws you in, and that's just how they're made, basically. But
yeah, at the end of the day, it doesn't show everything. And what you see on the show is 100% real. Those are real emotions, real feelings, real interactions. And I just try to remind people of that as well.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you guys both so much for taking the time to chat with me. I hope that you guys make so many new holiday traditions this year, and that you get the opportunity to rewatch The Grinch. And thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.